So I am fully aware that a 750 watt power supply is way too much for a 4060 Ti. However, I want this to be upgradable for the person that I am building this for in the future. And because of that, we're going to be using the i7-13700K. You could also get a 13400 and put this in the computer as well. Now the case that we're going to be using is this guy right here. It's a Bit Phoenix Nova Mesh. The window is kind of tinted. It has 4 pre-installed RGB fans, and overall it's a decent case. The only thing that I don't like about it is the bottom part right here having those like vents. This is my second time using this. I recommend it. I understand that the 4060 Ti is somewhat of a controversy right now, and I understand that, but I mean, until you actually get the graphics card and use the graphics card, you can't really let the numbers for the 40 series GPUs get to your head, because they perform way better than what you would expect, just because of the way NVIDIA designed the encoders and all of that kind of stuff. So this is what the graphics card looks like. It's pretty decent looking graphics card. It's going to fit the white build just because it does have little accents here. And this was the only 4060 Ti on Amazon that I could see. So I'm going to quickly show you what I have not used. And that is this RAM right here. This is DDR5. I forget the exact speed, but it's 6000 megahertz. I have not used this. One that I use almost all the time is T-Force. I just like the RAM. It works really well. I've used this NVMe quite a few times. This is a Kingston 1 terabyte NVMe. Works perfectly fine. You're going to be very, very limited with upgrades in the future if you get a 13100, because it's going to bottleneck pretty much anything above a 4070. And even the 4070 is going to start getting bottlenecked at 1080p. At 1440p and 4K, the 13100 and the 4070 are fine. But if you go to 1080p, you're not going to want, you know what I mean? You're going to want something different. Now, the only thing I don't like about this power supply is the cables that it comes with. And I have extensions because it's going to be a white build anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. But as you can see here, they're colored. And I don't like that. I don't understand why any power supply would ever do that. Yeah, I'm sure you see this. It's like they're colored cables. I don't like the way that looks. The only thing that I could ever see or consider somebody enjoying or liking that is if you actually like always have RGB going on in the background, which I know my memory is not white right now. I have not installed ASUS Armory Crate on that computer yet. The owner is coming to get that computer, so I don't want to download anything that they do not want. However, they're gonna, actually, I'm just gonna show you the box just because the box shows you everything anyways. So this is a Gigabyte Z790 UD AC. I've used this one other time in the past. So these are some of my favorite motherboards for the Z790. This one was the mini build that we did. MSI, awesome, great motherboard. They really did. They did such a good job across the board. This is the one that I have in my computer over there. This is the only motherboard that I've been able to overclock my RAM with XMP with 4 sticks. All 4 of those sticks are using XMP at 7000 megahertz. And yes, I am fully aware that that is not what it's supposed to be. So this right here, these are for the lower budget builds. This is a Asus Prime Z790A motherboard. And then this is Z790P motherboard, which is just the DDR4 version of this. And I use that in that computer over there for the 12400, because you don't really need DDR5 for a 12400. So this right here, this is the ID cooling AIO. We are going to be using an AIO. That was actually my first time ever using a stock cooler, and it's doing a pretty good job at keeping the 12400 cool. So anyways, yeah, the motherboard, the AIO, the CPU, the case, fans are already in it, NVMe, RAM, and that 4060 Ti, and then the 750 watt power supply. So that is everything, my friends.